Hey guys, it's your boy Football Talk Reactions, and today we got another video from the guy Eric Rayweather. EA just made a massive update to College Football 26. Now this is a 20-minute video, so we just gonna sit back and react to this together because I have not watched this. He did post this a lot earlier, like I think he posted this around like 12 or 11, something like that. But we here now, so let's see what this massive update EA has just put out. Without further ado, let's jump right into this. Let's go.
We've got a massive update on the way for College Football 26. The notes just dropped, and I got some early footage that I can show you of the update today.
Oh, we got footage too?
They did allow me to get this information early, and they allow me the ability to record this footage before the update drops so that I could show you visually some of the things that are changing. So in this video, we're going to go over all of the changes for gameplay, Dynasty, Road to Glory, presentation, and more. And for some of the stuff in this video, I'll actually have footage on the update that I can show you. And if you don't want to miss out on any of the other information or updates for this game the rest of the year, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on, because I'm going to be getting the information early to share with you guys. So let's start with the gameplay updates. One of my favorite additions in this update, they added an option to set base protection by default. So with this year's game, plays have built-in protections. And
that's a good one
like
right there, base protection.
Regular base protection, because it's just a little bit more predictable. People are used to it from years past. So now if you go into your coaching adjustments by clicking the right stick in, when you're in a game, you can go and set your protection to be base protection on every play. That means no matter what play you come out in, as you can see, your offensive line will have the standard base protection that you were used to in years past. They also corrected the blocking protection UI from popping up in unintended scenarios, which is kind of a bit of an issue. They also fixed an issue where using the untarget defender mechanic would unintentionally slide your offensive line. So now when this update drops, when you go to untarget a defender for different reasons, like if they're blitzing and you're trying to just get your offensive line to focus on the right players, as you'll see, you won't have to worry about your offensive line unintentionally sliding one way or another when you use this mechanic.
Now, I was going to kind of gloss over it, but the reason why this is such a big thing for the base protection is, like he said, a lot of people, most people are used to this, because I believe in Madden is base as well. They might have changed it last year and this year, but a lot of people are used to the base protection, and the dynamic way that they had it was a cool thing, you know what I mean? Some people got used to it, but others, really had a hard time, especially online players from what I've heard. So to have this in there, and I'm pretty sure you can do online as well. It should be. So to have the base protection, that is a huge thing right there. Man, W's for EA, W's for EA. Let me know what y'all guys think.
Now, here's another big one. They addressed users being able to slant defenders into the same gap in 4-man fronts. Now, I did ask a developer about this specifically, and this is a lot to do with some of the different stunts like the Texas 4-man that people were using to get easy pressure in the same gaps almost every play. So as you can see here, as I run the Texas 4-man stunt multiple times, you can see that the offensive line is picking it up pretty consistently. Now, that's not going to say that it's not going to come in or that it's not going to allow you to get some good block sheds sometimes. It's just more so working, I think, as intended now, whereas before it was just a little too consistent every single time.
Oh, damn.
They also fixed blockers swapping or switching targets unnecessarily in empty protection. So sometimes when you would go empty, the blockers would switch their targets when they weren't supposed to. So now that shouldn't be an issue anymore. They also updated slide protection visuals to reflect target changes during auto motion plays. So sometimes when you would be running an auto motion and you would slide your line one way or another, it wouldn't visually show you who the offensive line was targeting after you reslid your line, because when you do these different slide protections, it's supposed to show you visually which guys your offensive lineman and your running back is now going to be targeting and picking up. Now this has been fixed for auto motion plays. They also fixed the illegal man downfield penalties caused by block steering and play action boot animation. So sometimes if you'd run a play action boot, for example, you would get an illegal man downfield penalty. That has now been corrected. You shouldn't have to deal with that anymore.
I'd be so mad.
And they also fixed the offensive
like
tackle blocking against the nickel,
winner,
single mug, right exit two-man stunts where the tackle dropped back too far. So now you can see here, if we're running nickel, single mug, the right exit two-man stunt, you'll notice that the tackle is going to drop back properly now. So this is going to kind of help mitigate this particular stunt out of this formation that was a little bit too effective. Now that's just the pass blocking updates to gameplay. Now we move over to coverage where they did some really great work here as well. This is one of my favorite fixes of this entire update.
Listen up if your defense right here,
will now
y'all
play
about
at
the
5
defense.
yards. So previously when you would shade down and do underneath coverage, your flat zones would play more aggressively underneath, but your hook zones would still kind of drop back standard, and it really...
This might be too loud. I just realized how loud it was. I'm so sorry about that.
Playing underneath, at least for over the middle of the field. So now you'll notice when I select the underneath adjustment here, watch how the linebackers stay at 5-yard depth. They're actually playing underneath. They're playing more aggressive, and this is going to help you to stop those things like drags or in routes.
I was just about to say drag routes. That would like help eliminate those.
This is a great change. Now, when you go over the top coverage, hook defenders will play at about 12 to 18 yards. So they're going to get a little bit deeper when you actually do an over the top adjustment. As you can see here, if we shade over top, notice how the linebackers are getting 12 to 18 yards deep. It really just depends on the play and the receivers that are on the field, how far back they'll drop.
For defensive guys right here, this is going to be it.
It says vertical hook zones,
especially online,
when using coaching adjustments or custom zone stems. So right
or
here, for example,
like
I'm putting
not franchise, what is it?
And then if I go to this cover
Dynasty.
6 here, you can see that we have a vertical hook, and I want you to notice how he is not going to match. Before he would, and now he's going to stay in that 5-yard range because I purposely set my coaching adjustments to keep him in that spot. So the matching logic will not override your zone drops anymore. They also updated the 3-rec hook match logic to better defend a swing route from the opposite side of the formation and behind the line of scrimmage, so you should see the 3-rec hooks be a little more responsive there now. They also updated the press animation logic to ensure defenders match user-called press at the line of scrimmage. Moving on to catching, they resolved an issue where receivers caught passes despite knockout dice rolls, and they also did some tuning to the drop catch animation frequency in contested situations. So now when you're throwing these passes into coverage a little bit more often, you should see some more knockouts. You should see some more
I like that.
Versus heavily contested catches.
I can't wait to see the new
but
knockouts
if you're
that
throwing
they
it
have.
into double and triple coverage, you should just notice more drops in these situations, which is a good thing in my opinion. Also, just from the little bit that I played, I felt that defenders just definitely seem to attack the ball a little bit better in zone, like safeties and stuff like that. So just
you
something
heard
else
that?
I wanted to note. They also
you heard that? Eric Grayweather said defenders seem to attack the ball a lot more. So for the people that have been saying, oh, interceptions, I mean, I can't get a pick or this and that, or my guy is not really being aggressive, this new update should fix it. You know, hopefully it should fix it for you. So
corrected the wide receiver collision at the snap that disrupted route timing. Now, I think what this means is just sometimes when you would snap the ball, guys kind of bump into each other, or even the tight end a lot of times, as I'm showing in this example here, he would bump into this edge rusher and chuck him a lot of times, and they don't do that as much anymore.
This used to do
a lot of snaps in practice, and not really
this used to be a lot in Madden, especially like Madden 20 and 21.
So they're kind of releasing quicker into their routes, which is good for timing and things like that.
Definitely. Especially like on crucial situations.
Poor wide receiver spacing and awkward motion animations across multiple formations. So just kind of cleaning up some little minor bugs there in certain formations. They fixed missing play action play animations in specific plays. They resolved issues with the jet reverse pass being unthrowable when flipped. So here I've got an example of this. You can see we're flipping the play, and before this would just kind of be bugged out and sometimes you'd lose the ball or you just wouldn't be able to throw it. Now you can throw the ball on this play when flipped. So they fixed that.
I'd be so scared to do this play.
Plays and corrected
I'd mess it up.
They addressed illegal formations caused by tight end motions in various sets. They also did some tuning to the flex bone option play speed for consistency across handedness. So whether you're a left-handed QB or a right-handed, you should get the same speed now on those flex bone options. They also corrected the RPO peak glance behavior to match the intended logic. They fixed auto motion receiver collisions with QBs. Sometimes auto motion receivers would run into the quarterbacks. And here is a pretty interesting one. They added a new odd ghost defensive formation. You can find this in the 3-3-5 and the 3-2-6 playbook. So you can see here the odd ghost formation has some pretty unique coverages and some blitzes here, just kind of showing you some examples of what you can expect.
Hold on.
It's always nice when we're getting these new formations.
Look at this. Wait, no, it wasn't this one. It was a man. Was it man?
6 playbooks.
I could have swore
So
I saw one
here,
that was like the
odd ghost
man,
formation has
but
some
it looked like a
unique
zone.
Coverages and some blitzes here. Just
here he is. God damn.
You could see here the odd ghost formation has some pretty unique coverages and some blitzes here.
Right here. Cover 2 man. Ooh. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you guys are scared to play man because you don't think your corners could hold on, or your linebackers can match up with the running back or the tight end, this might be the go-to right here. The cover 2 man, depending on what defense you're playing with, this might be the go-to right here, especially like on 3rd and 3, you know, 4th down, 4th and 1, you know, something like that. Ooh, this might be a new meta right here.
We're just kind of showing you some examples of what you can expect, but it's always nice when we're getting these new formations added to the game. They also made some updates to the run game. They enabled QB juke moves for halfbacks and wide receivers in Wildcat formation. As you can see here, you'll now be able to use those.
Nah, that juke move was clean. Look at it. Whoop.
Running Wildcat, which can be very useful. They also fixed the QB speed burst glitch, which was kind of an annoying one. They tuned the power shed frequency and improved edge leverage behavior on outside runs. So if you found it kind of hard to run the ball sometime before, you might find it a little harder now. The outside runs, it seems like the defense does play the leverage a lot better on those, so you're gonna have to be very mindful of.
Yeah, because last year, I mean,
they corrected the center.
As soon as you get the ball, if you bounce it to the edge, if you make a guy miss and you bounce it to the edge, my goodness.
To match the play intent. So you'll see that the inside zone handoffs are a little bit faster, as they should be, so that you get the ball to your running back a lot quicker. So that should make inside zone running a little bit better. Here's some other big things they did with alignment and formation logic. They resolved defensive front flipping and zone art crossing during hurry-up scenarios. That was pretty annoying. They corrected the OLB alignment behind the middle linebacker due to tight end motion. They aligned play art in the nickel over cover 3 sky with other formations. They tuned the defensive tackle alignment logic to prevent stacking in specific play combos. They updated the AI defensive logic to properly align over outside wide receivers in goal line sets, and they fixed duplicate jersey numbers for offensive linemen on the field. Here's some other really important ones here for gameplay: hot routes and audibles. They updated the logic so users can no longer instantly flip plays or audible when walking out of the huddle on offense. Now, I wish I could have got some footage for some of this stuff here, but I simply just ran out of time. But these are very important, especially for more competitive play. You'll no longer be able to just instantly flip your plays right when you break the huddle, which is good because that kind of helps the defense get set. They balanced hot route timing between elite and lower rated QBs, which is another big fix here. They updated the delay for consistency between all quarterbacks regardless of the animation they triggered. Some animations would take a longer time to finish, and it would inhibit a user's ability to quickly make adjustments. Now all QBs have the same time delay between adjustments. That's a really good fix.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Hey Joe, what are you doing here on a weekday? You didn't call.
They addressed an issue where users would be able to do rapid hot routes after blocking a running back, so that was kind of a workaround, but they have taken that out of the game. They updated the hot route time delay consistency for under center QBs to match gun and pistol, and they resized the UI indicator for audibles to appropriate scale. For run defense, they tuned assignment flow consistency between RPO alert keys and peak logic. They added logic for edges to play the QB on boot naked runs when in a contain assignment, which is very good. And they resolved the freeform passing reticle snapping back to initial location. They also made some AI logic and coaching adjustments, which is going to be big for the people that are playing Dynasty and stuff like that. They tuned AI defensive play calling to avoid prevent in the 2-minute drill. They updated AI logic to avoid goal line defense versus 4 wide receiver sets. Here's another really good one. They added a safety coaching adjustment depth option to 16 yards.
The creative player mode. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank, guys. I'm sorry.
Adjustments by clicking the right stick in when you're in a game. You now have a new safety coaching adjustment.
Hey, that LSU defense are looking pretty. Hey,
have them play at 16
yeah, baby.
Kind of a nice little in-between area to put them a little bit deeper, but not as deep as the other options. And this can really help you defending some of those deeper routes down the field or when you're getting closer to the red zone. On special teams, they improved the lead blocker decision-making on kick return. So now kick return blocking should be a little bit better. And they adjusted the kick returner alignment to ensure reachability on onside.
I can't remember the last time I actually returned a kick return for a touchdown. Now that's just the gameplay stuff.
Now we've got to move into Dynasty, and there's a ton of changes here. It's mostly just fixing issues. So this really wasn't stuff I could get footage of, but here is the list for Dynasty. They updated the SMU field to grass, so that was a new change. They fixed an issue where complimentary and competitive visits would not show
what was
properly in the
SMU's
all-season recruiting.
before?
They fixed an issue.
Oh, it was
transfer spreadsheet was
what's the name?
auto-sorting by speed.
Turf.
They fixed an issue and encouraged transfers where the roster size would display incorrectly after viewing a player card. They fixed an issue where players were not earning enough XP when manual progression was set to on. Fixed an issue where off-season visits were not giving enough influence. Fixed an issue in training results where 2 users in an online dynasty could manually progress players at the same time. Fixed an issue where playing style stats were not calculating correctly for some positions. They fixed an issue where the team needs module was double counting signed players at each position. They improved logic around playing time deal breakers when other players at a position enter the pro draft. They fixed an issue that caused incorrect playing time grades to display for the school that a player left in the transfer portal due to playing time. Fixed an issue where career records broken included stats earned at a different school. Fixed an issue that caused scheduled
That's a
visits
funny
in the
one.
offseason to process a week later than they should. Fixed an issue where you could see deal breakers of players on another user's team in Online Dynasty. Increased the size of a player's season health pool at the start of the next season. The size of the season health pool is still determined based on how full it is at the end of the season.
That
This
deal
change
breaker
makes the
one's
size
like
more
a
forgiving
cheat sheet
if a player
almost.
uses most of their current year health. They fixed an exploit allowing you to have multiple visits with the same recruit. Fixed an issue where defensive tackles would not appear in the wear and
With the
tear
same
auto subs
recruit.
menu. Fixed an issue where the trophy room team banner would not properly update to the current school. Fixed an issue where the completion showed as 0 in the post-game box score. Updated the Jim Thorpe Award to be the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award. And they fixed an issue where you cannot uncheck
Nah,
ready
that's
to advance
crazy.
in an online dynasty. So a lot of good fixes
A
there.
lot.
Surrounding dynasty with recruiting and things like that. This should definitely help.
Any
A
you
lot of
guys,
players out going forward.
Our Dynasty mode
Moving on
players,
to
let me
Road
know
to
what you
Glory,
guys
they
think.
fixed the
Road to
issue
Glory,
where
that's
the
what it's called.
user player would be randomly subbed out of the game due to fatigue. I know a lot of people were complaining about that.
Wow.
Here's a cool one. They added a new NIL deal with Chipotle, so that's pretty nice.
Ooh!
Fixed an issue where
All
sacks
right,
were
new
not giving
NIL
negative
deal with
tape score
Chipotle.
during highlight moments, and they added a confirmation pop-up when quitting a high school moment. Now, Ultimate Team also got a ton of updates here. Now, usually I don't really cover Ultimate Teams. I know a lot of people that watch my videos don't really mess with Ultimate Team as much as the other modes, but I will pop up the changes on the screen so you can read them because there are actually a ton of changes here. So here are the field pass, progression, and rewards changes. I'll pop them up on the screen. You can pause if you want to read it, but the video is already getting long, so I want to try to get through the rest of it. In terms of lineup and team management, there were also some other important changes that you could see up here on the screen. For the store and packs, they made a couple of changes here as well, as you could see up on the screen. And for challenges, events, and head-to-head, they also made some changes here and some additions, so those are up on the screen where you can read those. Moving on to presentation here, they do
Oh, whoa. We got an update for presentation. Oh, shit now. Let's go, baby. Hey, I've been listening this whole time. Don't get me wrong, but I'm focused, okay? Don't distract me
audio
now.
in this update. It says new commentary intros for 56 rivalry games. 15
Woo!
10
56!
anticipated matchups for the new 2025 college football
10?
season,
Oh,
including
nah.
Ohio State and Michigan, Army and Navy, Florida and Georgia, Oregon and Washington, Kansas and Kansas State, Boise State and
Okay.
Fresno State, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, Georgia and Texas, Oregon and Penn State, Texas A&M and Notre Dame, and many more. So
Damn,
basically
Texas
now,
A&M, Notre
if you're
Dame,
playing
they-
these matchups,
Hey,
in
they
the
a
game,
rival?
you will notice new commentary, which especially for rivalry games, if you've noticed before, a
Oh
lot of
my
times the
goodness, bro.
commentary
This
for rivalry games
it's gonna
is
make
very
it feel so
similar
much
across
more
different
special.
rivalries. Now they've made them more unique. They've added different audio.
I
they've added
love
different audio
it.
for certain matchups that we're gonna have this year. They've added more stadium light shows as well. I wasn't really able to capture a lot of this because again I ran out of time.
Damn.
But when you're seeing some of these matchups now, you're gonna see a lot more.
I'm gonna have to find them on my own time and you know.
Another cool thing they
post
did
them.
audio wise here was they added more song covers for the main menu. So you know when the game dropped, they had all these different songs that the band was playing. Now they've added 10 more songs. Those include Money
Okay.
Trees, Misery
Money
Business,
Trees,
Get
Misery-
Lucky,
Get Lucky,
Closer,
Closer.
What You Know, $1 Million Baby, No Hands.
Ooh, Closer and $1 Million Baby. Those my
and One Too
two.
Many. Here is
No
a quick
hand.
list of
Oh,
some of these
no
moves
hands.
sound really good in the game.
Let's turn this up a little bit. Jump into the flow.
Now let's look at some of the new equipment that was added. One of the long-awaited cleats we've been asking for, the Nike Vapor Edge Speed 362. One of the more worn cleats in football is now in College Football 26. Just showing you a couple different colorways here, but these are definitely going to be highly used in the game.
Boston College,
they're highly used in real life.
Ain't gonna lie, Boston
They've also
College
added some Adidas cleats that we did see in Madden. They've now brought them over to college as well. We have the Adizero Electric 2 Exotic Speed, which you can see in the game. That was not in the game previously, but it
I might put them on my player.
And they even added the Ultra Boost Mono cleat to the game as well.
Ultra Boost
cool.
Mono.
This is one of my favorite cleats. So was in Madden. They've now got it over into college football.
I want to see an LSU color.
They also added 6 new face masks for the Axiom helmet, one of the most worn helmets in football, so it's good to see more face mask options here as I'm just going to scroll through these 6 new ones that were added to the game right here. And I do think we're going to have more helmet and face mask stuff coming in later updates, but right now, definitely nice little upgrade for the Axiom as, like I said, one of the most worn helmets, so it's good to have these new options. Now, there was also a bunch of new uniform content that was added. I was able to...
Yes! We got new uniforms. Oh, shit now. Oh, shit now. Presentation uniforms on this channel. Come on now. Come on now. If you guys are new, these are the top 2 things I love about video games, okay? Especially when it comes to football. Ooh, this Kansas? The baby blue?
You could see the Kansas light blue jerseys, which I think are some of the best looking new jerseys in the game. They also added a new updated all white alternate to the game as well, which looks pretty nice. You can never go wrong with all white. They also added the Air Force Space Force.
Air Force did they thing. Air Force did they fucking thing, bruh. Oh my God. Look at, bruh. You can't go wrong with black and blue. Black and red, black and blue. It don't matter. You can't go wrong with either one of them. But this right here is so clean. Oh my. Look at this. Got the little USSF. Got the Air Force little. Oh, got the. Is that Nike? Air Force with the Nike? America. And then, hey, the helmet's shining though. Look at the sun reflecting off of the little U and the S. Oh my God. Nah, this clean right here. Then you gotta go with the all black with the Nike logo gloves. I mean, come on now, duh.
Ultimate uniform, which is definitely one of the better looking ones, so that is now in the game.
Definitely.
For Air Force fans.
I ain't gonna lie, it's one of my
favorite. New Mexico new home and away jersey, so they changed them up a little bit this year.
New Mexico got uniforms like this. I ain't gonna lie, my player might be going New Mexico, ladies and gentlemen.
These look pretty clean. And they also have the turquoise alternates updated as well, as you can see right here, so you've got all the options. They also added the new UAB home and away uniforms as well. So a number of teams definitely updated their standard uniforms this year. So some of them were already in the game.
Like the helmets,
they're now getting the rest of them in
now. The Dragon, come on now. I've always loved the Dragons.
UAB. This might be my favorite one that was added, the Oregon State camos. They updated these, so this looks pretty cool.
No, those fire too.
The helmet and the camo number.
Oh, the camo with the number.
We also got some new Washington uniforms in the game as well.
I'm going to say this about Washington. They got some of the best helmets in the game. Because of the reflectiveness. Look at this right here. You could see, look, you could see the field. You see the crowd. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've always really rocked with their helmets.
These were not previously there.
And that whole purple look that they wore.
Looking sick. Got the all black Nebraska uniforms as well. I know this one was requested by a lot of people. You can now use those in 26. They also added the 2023 version of the FIU Miami Vice uni. So obviously we have the newer, updated ones, but they put the old ones in there as well, so you can now rock those. They also updated the Sam Houston State home jersey as well.
Sam Houston got updated. Once again, these teams these schools you never heard of got the best damn uniform. I'm tired of it. Step it up, Big School. Step it up.
Away uniforms as well.
Damn
so
it.
Updated them with the current look that they're rocking this year.
All that damn money ain't doing shit with
the
it.
ULM black alternate helmet, which is a pretty cool looking one. ULM got some of the sicker helmets in football, and they've now added the black alternate. They added the Cal paw prints helmet. I believe there's 2 different colors of this one, but here is the gold one. I believe this helmet here for Washington is a throwback helmet that they also added in this update, so that one looks sick. They added the Stars and Stripes helmet for Virginia. This one looks pretty cool. I like when they incorporate the flag into helmets. And here is one for the Fresno State Bulldogs as well. They're white USA alternate helmets, so those look pretty cool. So this now makes 2 really big updates in a row for 26. Can't wait to see what else they got coming later in the year. But while you're here, if you do want to make...
Oh my goodness. I ain't got really much to add, to be honest with you guys. Hopefully I didn't pause too much in this one, but it was a lot. It was a lot going on in this. So I had to, you know, give my little 2 cents. But excuse me, guys. Once again, shout out to Eric Merriweather. If you would like to watch the original video, I will leave it in the link in the description down below. So yeah, go make sure you check it out. Go ahead and subscribe to Eric Merriweather also. Just like you're going to subscribe to me. Because if you don't, I will come to your house and I will punch you in your sleep.